Welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Khat Hansen. I am bringing you this show in an attempt to educate you about the forgotten creatures and beings that exist alongside of us on this amazing planet that we call home. Many of these hidden beings are elusive and highly intelligent. Our ancient ancestors of North and South America knew of and understood these beings quite well. Many people are coming into contact with these elusive creatures, and they do not have any knowledge or understanding of what it is they are seeing and interacting with. This oftentimes leaves these individuals fearful and confused. It's my intention to shed some light and share knowledge through this series. I'm going to help alleviate that fear and confusion. It is time for the light to shine through the darkness. If you are interested in sharing your encounter, contact me directly at khathansen@yahoo.com, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Hi everyone, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Kat. So, I've kind of gotten a bunch of mail lately, and I've been thinking about everybody that writes me and what they want me to talk about. And one of the things that I've been getting quite a bit of mail on are a lot of different cryptids. Now, I know that I speak on a lot of different cryptids, but one in particular seems to be bothering everybody as of late. First one would be the Dogman. Big surprise there. And the second one are the Humanoids. Yeah, not the big hairy kind either. I am talking about the long, naked, skinny humanoids that people seem to be bumping into quite a bit. They're skinny, they're crawling, they're chasing, they're flying, they're creeping, they're stalking. Yeah, these guys are kind of nasty looking. And, well, I guess they are kind of nasty to deal with if you're afraid of them. People usually say, they're covered with an oily sheen or slime or water. It looks like they're about 7 feet tall. They stand on 2 legs. They have really long arms hanging down, from his shoulder blades. They look strong. Yeah, I guess they do to some people. They're real lean. They're muscular. They're not real beefy guys, I don't know. People tell me, they look thin, like they're real gaunt or they're dying, and the way I've always seen them is that's just the way that they're made up. So it doesn't really strike me that way. Like I said, they stand about 7 feet tall. They're real light colored. They're not sure, most people aren't, whether it's tan or yellow or white or, a gray, like a gray alien. They're just not sure, Usually they tell me, though, that it was a pasty gray or a white color, and they saw it creeping through the grass, with its mouth kind of opened. So that's when they see the teeth and the fear sets in, and they really want to know just what the heck it is they're looking at. Well, like I said, you guys would be surprised how many times I've heard this scenario. What is it, Kat? What is it? Well, my people always called them Okwanaholo, and that is the name that we've given to a couple different races of this particular being. They all have one thing in common, though, and that's the ability to, A, instill fear in anyone who sees them, especially if they're open their mouths, to reveal what I term the gaping maw of death. Dun, dun, dun. That's right. I'm talking some massively sharp, overly long, and very prolific teeth. These guys, they like to appear out of nowhere. They're usually stalking you well before you're even aware of them. Okay, let's talk about why they open that big black pit. Well, it's to scream. The scream that they emit is like teeth-jarring, bone-rattling sound that totally overwhelms you with fear and death all at the same time. Usually allowing you to completely run in panic, to the point where you don't even want to stop. You're looking over your shoulder to see if, the devil himself is chasing you. And I really want people to understand something that we humans have that other species of humanoids from other realms do not have. And that's the flight or fight mechanism. Yeah, being a fraidy cat has never been so awesome as it is right now when encountering these guys, I promise you. It would seem, that this scream renders other species incapacitated, allowing this thing to get its daily belly-full ration, At least that's what I have witnessed about these guys. I have seen them hunting and coming upon other smaller cryptids at the time, in example, fairies, and eating them like potato chips. Ew, cat, I know, I'm sorry, but the law of survival, you guys, is universal. Okonahola is one being who seems to like it here, at least from what I can see, at least. I mean, there's lots of other tasty cryptids to sustain it, and, well, let's face it, Earth is really beautiful scenic-wise, especially if you stop to realize that these beings need water to live in part-time. So I really don't see them leaving anytime soon. I know, bad neighbors. Well, not really, because think about this. We have lots and lots of cryptids here. Not all of them are good. We already know this. There are some that are troublemakers. And this guy right here, who I call Hoover, he would just love to get a hold of them. If you see one of these guys, you can run away in fear, or you can basically just deal with it, I tell everybody, my advice, is real simple. This is a no contact being, as I'm really not too sure if they would not turn on you if there were not any other cryptids around for them to eat. Like I said, they already have tons of them here, though, from, elementals to cryptids to fays to earth energies. They've just got so much going here to eat. It's like a giant supermarket to them. And I know they're scary with the teeth and all, and this scream that they do, but ultimately, if you remember what I taught you guys from the beginning, that you as a created being have the power to overthrow all of these beings, that give you that fight or flight reflex, then you should have no fear. Now, the opposite of these guys is Nalusaphalaya. And these guys, people see them all the time and are terrified of them, okay? There's two species. You have the jinn, and then you have shadow people, okay? And people always want to argue with me about whether shadow people are evil or not, okay? I'm just going to say it like I was taught. Shadow people, I have several that live in my house. Several, okay, at any given time. Shadow people are not evil. They're just not. I can say the Lord's Prayer. I can read my Bible. I can do whatever I want here. Hold Sunday school here at my house. And these guys still walk around. Okay, they're not evil. They're a completely separate race of people. Okay, and that's how we've always looked at them. Now, Nalusaphalaya, they do get lumped into that. And Nalusaphalaya is something completely different. You guys have heard me talk about them before. Nalusaphalaya are jinn. They are the beings that were created before us, who hate our guts. They always appear in their corporeal form, which is basically a long, black, shadow-looking thing. And Nalusaphalaya, they do some really crappy things to humans. They really do, because we are so juvenile compared to them. We haven't been around as long as they have. And these guys are just unbelievable. with the cruelty and the trickery and just the most deceptive being you ever want to meet. I mean, they can't keep their story straight. You know, and here's the bad thing about jinn. Now, Luciferiae, whatever you want to call them, these guys can actually attach to generations of a family. Yeah, it's not bad enough, you know, that you have one crazy uncle who's been driven nuts by these things, but now you've got great uncle and great great uncle and great great, and oh, by the way, his son and his son and his daughter. I mean, they just go back, and they can just keep going back and going back. They're very, very hard to get rid of. So I like people to be aware that when you see Luciferiae, I don't care where you are, leave. Go away. My daughter always referred to them as the dark. And I used to think that was pretty apt for a kid because the dark can swallow you up. That's what she used to tell me all the time. So you need to be careful when dealing with these beings. I know everybody thinks, oh, Jinn, great. You know, I dream of Jeannie and she's going to be in a little bottle and I'm going to let it out and I'm going to get my 3 wishes. No. You know, that's really been westernized for humanity. These guys are stone cold killers. You know, they are something to be extremely, extremely fearful of. These guys rate right up there with the ghoul. Okay? And I know people have heard me talk about ghouls, but I am serious here, folks. These guys are beyond evil. Okay, and the ghoul are no better. You know, you guys have heard me talk about them, how they prey on humans, take advantage of humans, try to use human bodies to travel in, all sorts of things. You know, everybody tries to make them out, you know, to be, ooh, scary Halloween beings. They're not really. They live in our cemeteries. They eat our dead. They've been doing it for thousands of years. And it's something that they have come to be expected, you know, just a given. It's a given to them. Okay, so the jinn are the same way. You know, they're like, oh, let's be shadow people today and scare the wits out of everybody because everybody knows that shadow people are just terrifying. Well, here they made it so that a whole race of beings are literally being demonized, you know, by humans. And that's really not fair, you know. It just isn't. So when you see a jinn, and if you're out and about in the wilderness, I am pretty certain you're going to run into one at some point. You know, these guys are real simple to defeat. I tell everyone, you need to laugh at them first and foremost, and you need to tell them to get away from you, that you're a created being in the image of the Creator, and that they cannot touch you, because they will have to answer to Him. And that is something that they are afraid of. You know, they don't like the fact that they're going to have to answer to anybody, let alone Creator. So that's just a word to the wise for everybody, you know. If you bump it into Luciferiae, the big, long, shadowy looking beings, not shadow people, but the big, long shadows. They're tall, they stand up, they're very tall and scary and dark. If you can't see through them, you need to be afraid, okay? Because shadow people have this graininess around the edges of them that you can see through, okay? Jinn don't. They have like a boiling black smoke aura that they put off, and you can't see around it, and you can't see through it, and that's how you know the difference between who you're dealing with there. So that being said, I'm going to end this lesson, but if you like this lesson, please hit the like and subscribe, and if you know anybody who might be interested in this stuff, go ahead and point them over here to this channel. I would like to thank my patrons over on my Patreon page, and thank everybody here for attending my cryptid university. If there's anybody out there who needs a specific question answered about cryptids, you can always reach me at khathansen@yahoo.com, or you can email me here at Understanding Conscious Cryptids. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, and I will talk at you later.